What is the mission of SpaceX Starlink? Hello friends and fans, this is Stuffbox, and in this video, we'll talk about the mission of SpaceX Starlink. So first of all, I'm going to tell you when SpaceX launched its broadband system. SpaceX first publicly announced its global broadband system in 2015. However, it had been not until September 2017 they filed applications for a satellite-based broadband network. SpaceX's latest Falcon 9 launch on Thursday, May 23rd was successful after they managed to launch 60 V0.9 Starlink satellites into orbit. The launch was initially planned to require place on May 15th, but that was canceled thanks to upper high winds. On the day of the backup launch, SpaceX announced that it had been canceled again for a software update and extra checks. Better safe than sorry appeared to be the proper thanks to going because the launch went spectacularly well. The goal? To make a network of low Earth orbit satellites capable of delivering internet access to the planet. Now you'll ask, what's so special about that? The difference between Starlink and other satellites is that Starlink will exist of a constellation of 12,000 pieces, as compared to the older satellites that suffer from unreliable connections and empty service areas. Starlink is going to be ready to deliver high-speed internet to each corner of the world. Let's put into perspective how big of a thought this is. At now in time, there are 1,980 active satellites in Earth's orbit. To urge the coverage intended, SpaceX will need to launch 4,425 satellites into space. Earlier this year, on February 22nd, an enormous step was taken. Tintin A and B, two Starlink test satellites, were launched from the Vandenberg Air Force Base in California. These test satellites won't be a part of the eventual network. However, these tests were needed to get the inspiration for this infrastructure dream. The success of this awarded SpaceX FCC approval to deliver internet access and charge people for it. Every satellite, weighing about 850 pounds, like the dimensions of a car, will orbit above the world in altitudes varying from 715 to 790 miles high. Using Ka, Ku radio frequencies, the constellation is going to be ready to deliver 1 gigabyte per second to terrestrial customers, which is 200 times faster than today's average internet. SpaceX's primary goal remains to form humanity and interplanetary species, with their specialized in terraforming Mars or a minimum of building a self-sustaining city on Mars. To understand this, you presumably need money, and tons of it. By having the ability to deliver fast internet globally for a comparatively low price, SpaceX ultimately leaps the competitors. Likely, SpaceX will use the funds gained by Starlink to fund the Starship and other future missions. While performing on this blog, I found tons of critiques. People are primarily concerned with how damaging Starlink satellites would be to our view of the galaxy. I do know that the majority of the folks that read this are fans of SpaceX and are already excited to ascertain the ISS, at least I am. 12,000 may be a heck of a number, and albeit space is ample, I understand the priority. However, watching how cool Marco Langbroek's footage is and reading about the other people's failed search attempts for the satellites, I feel their concern is a crucial element to be considered in the future, where there might be tens of thousands of satellites in orbit. While I think most critiques are people that are a touch scared of change, I think once we're at the purpose where we've new, moving constellations consisting of satellites, everybody is going to be happy looking up to Starman. If you find this video useful, don't forget to give it a big thumbs up. Also, subscribe to this channel and press the bell icon to get our recent updates. Goodbye.